Here's a quick sketch I made of Gin, mainly just because I thought his tonfas with the balls on the end looked pretty cool. So he's got nice balls. Wait, that came out wrong.
One Piece, Chapter 60, Resolution.
Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the marvelous and excellently written tale of One Piece. Our last chapter left us with, us kind of having an oh my god moment because we found out that Gin, who we just kind of thought was one of Don Krieg's, maybe like a lowly pirate, he was actually the battle commander of his armada. So he decided to go and, use one of his cool police baton like with these huge metal ball things on the end of, and he, just nailed Invincible Pearl, who I was getting tired of anyway. And was able to shatter his cannonball-proof shield, and basically said, "You know what? I'm going to kill you myself." So to Sanji. So that is how the chapter begins. He says, "I'm sorry, Sanji. I was hoping that you could get out of this without being harmed, but now I'm going to have to kill you." And Sanji just kind of says, "Yeah, whatever. I guess not. I guess so." And then he goes, "Eat worms." And then he goes and he looks at Luffy and he's like, "You too, you should have left when you had the chance." And then Luffy's like, "Why? We're not going to lose to a bunch of wimps like you." So now he's stirring the pot, right? He's really stirring the pot. This is the kind of intimidation, this is the shit-talking part of the chapter, because both of them are just kind of like, wipe my ass with you. And then a lot of the pirates are going, and then they're Don Krieg's pirates. "We're Don Krieg's pirates. We're the strongest. Don't you know who you're messing with?" And Luffy's like, "Bullshit. You're not the strongest. You're a bunch of wimps." The deal is, the only reason that you guys are even... First of all, they were getting their asses kicked before the gun was put to the back of Zeph's head. So I think that should be noted over here. Now, that's not said in the chapter, but we all know that's what happened, right? They were getting their asses kicked. Now, that's number one. Number two, Luffy's right. They're just throwing numbers. He says basically the only reason you guys even are still around here is because you have numbers. There's a bunch of you idiots, and they are. They're all a bunch of weaklings and everything. And one of the cooks, goes and says, "Oh, don't get them all charged up. I hope that but don't get them all charged up, boy. Those are Don Krieg's pirates. They're not to be trifled with, So Don Krieg goes, and after there's a bit of back and forth and some talking from his pirates about, being offended and everything, he basically tells them, "Stand down," and then he tells them, in no uncertain terms, to just shut up, okay? Because if you guys are going and getting pissed off by the stuff that he's saying, that means that you are weak. You do have weaknesses, okay? Somebody who is not weak doesn't have to explain that they're not weak. They're just not weak. And that's the whole thing he's trying to get across, is like, stop being some slack-jawed faggots. And excuse I shouldn't have used that term. It was something that I heard from a movie a long time ago, an army movie. But it basically is just like, hey, listen, you guys are supposed to be these badass pirates, and you're acting like a bunch of sissies. So he puts them in their place, and then he goes and he has this little spiel, and he says, and he looks at Luffy and he says, "Between you and me, boy, who do you think is going to be the rightful king of pirates?" And Luffy, without hesitation, just goes into the next panel. It's just a picture of him, also honest and forward. He's not going to tell Don Krieg what he wants to hear. He's not going to cave into his bullying nonsense. He just goes, "Me." And Don Krieg's like, "What?" And he just is really, really pissed off about that. He's, it's kind of like the mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all. She wants the mirror to say, "You, my queen." But as soon as the mirror says that it's Snow White and not her, oh boy, the queen gets her panties in a bunch. So I know it's getting a little off topic, but it's the same type of scenario. He wants to be stroked basically by Luffy, and have Luffy say, "Oh, you should be the king, the pirates, Don Krieg." So back on topic, Don Krieg, he's obviously pissed off at what Luffy says. Don Krieg then goes and attaches this, really cool-looking shield attachment to his thing, and everybody's like, "Oh God, no! Oh no, Don Krieg!" Even his own men seem to be scared, or "Oh my God, no!" And Don Krieg goes and he's getting pissed off, and he's like, "You know what? That's it. Enough of this. I'll show you what true power is." And even Gin's like, "No, not the MH5." And there's all this talk about the MH5, and the MH what? And he says, let me kill the boy. Let me kill him. Don Krieg. And Don Krieg's like, "Listen, you know what? Enough of this stuff. I'm tired of this sentimental nonsense. Okay, war is about winning, pure and simple. It's about victory, and that's in his mind. He's a warrior, but he's also a piece of shit because he's one of those people that does anything. He'll kill men, women, children, whatever, right? Kill dogs, anything that gets in his way. Underhanded tactics just to win, and that's really not what it's all about. But to him, it is. That's his thing. His singular focus and goal is like, I don't want to care about honor and all this stuff. I just care about victory. That's all I want to know is about victory. So then he goes and everybody's like, no, don't use it, So he's like, I'm gonna go and launch the poison gas ball, and as his shield opens up, and it's this cool looking, Captain America like shield or whatever. It opens up, and he fires this poison gas bomb, and then Luffy's just kind of like, because he's still over on his like wrecked ship or whatever, you know what I mean, and not the deck, because the deck has been destroyed in between, so he's still 50 feet away or whatever. Luffy goes and he's just like, what's the big deal? Poison gas ball. So Luffy goes to jump up and give it the old, give it a nice stretch kicker to bounce it back, and right as that goes and happens, and everybody's freaking because of this poison gas ball, because he even says, he goes, it'll basically, one whiff of it'll turn you to mush, so it pretty much instantly kills, that's what we can assume from what Don Krieg tells us. So this thing comes at him, and Luffy goes to knock it back, and as that happens, this thing explodes, right, like a grenade, and all these shurikens start coming out of it, and everybody's like, what the, shuriken bomb, and shurikens are, one stuck into Luffy, and they're flying off, hitting everybody, and Don Krieg's over there like, ha ha ha, I fooled you. So you can see how he's just an underhanded piece of shit is what he is, because, I mean, look at the guy, don't get me wrong, I understand, you're not going to just go and telegraph all your moves in war and everything, but this guy is just lowly, he's going to... So then he goes and he says, yeah, I'd use a poison gas bomb on the likes on you two, like they're not... And he goes, you're not even worth it, so something that valuable I could take out a whole village with. And then you think about the mind of this guy, and it's like, really? Really? You would kill an entire village? For what? But this is the same piece of garbage that goes raising a white flag coming into ports or on other ships and then attacks anyways. You know what I mean? Or flies a Navy flag so people think like, oh, okay, it's the Navy, it's all right. And then he comes in and destroys and kills and rapes and pillages, burns. He's just not a good person. So definitely not somebody I'd ever like to know. So after this all happens and Luffy's like, ow, because he got hit with one of the shurikens. So then Don Krieg goes and he says again, and he says, now who do you think should be the king of the pirates, right? And Luffy goes, me. And then he, furthermore, right, to add insult to injury, he goes, you don't have what it takes. And I just thought that part was great, You don't have what it takes, Don Krieg. So Don Krieg has absolutely had it. He goes and he tells Gin, he says, go take care of the cook, right? I'm going to take care of this little whelp. And then I'll show you who the mighty power is of the East Blue, And he's talking his nonsense, and Luffy's like, yeah, go ahead, whatever, man. I'll win. So yeah, I'm better than you. And then it says, get ready, I'm coming over. And this is obviously he sends Sanji, or he's sending Gin to attack Sanji. And then he says, oh yeah, why don't you fly over again, And so Luffy goes and is getting ready to rocket himself over there, and then it goes and it flashes to Gin just coming, full force at Sanji, and he's just like, hey man, I'm sorry, but you can't defeat me. And Sanji goes and he's just like, yeah, whatever, you little scoundrel. Basically like, we'll see, you piece of shit. He's smoking his cigarette, just acting all cool, and kind of like James Bond like almost, he's got the smoke, and yeah, we'll see, you scoundrel, like you're nothing. So Gin comes at him, and he's got those two really cool batons, and as a matter of fact, I might draw a picture of Gin just because I think he looks pretty cool. And he comes flying at him, and I mean, he's just, just panel after panel of him just beating the shit out of Sanji. It only goes on for a couple pages, thankfully. And then, it goes and it gets towards the end over here, and at the end, he goes and he says, here, wait, what do you say? They call me the Demon Man, right? And this is after he's just like, whap, whap, and it seems like, Sanji's not getting anything in at all. So we're going to kind of see how that unfolds in the next chapter. That is how the chapter ends, with a couple pages of Sanji getting beat down and catching his lunch. And Gin, obviously, we found out in this chapter, he is, more than meets the eye, being this, battle commander of the Armada. So, and he's certainly a formidable foe. And then we also look forward to the next chapter to see, Luffy and Don Krieg finally going toe to toe. So I'm definitely excited. Hopefully you are as well, brothers and sisters. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the like button if you think I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching you in the next one, Nation. As always, thank you for watching, brothers and sisters. Be sure to subscribe and take a look at some of my other videos. Thanks. See you next time, Nation.